The Winter Nation on a Sunday evening, London, Ontario, at a skating rink on the threshold of a downtown market. Across the street, the big arena, the focus of the community, the BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships on CBC. We're going to the ice. It is such a Canadian thing. A rink, finding an edge, a way to live the dream in a northern nation. At the Canadian Figure Skating Championships, there's a lot to be gained. For some, a lot to lose. In a frozen land, it can be a time of great elation or a sea of broken hearts. It is such a special season in this country, an Olympic season, and it brings the chance of a lifetime. Well, the men have stormed the ice at John Labatt Centre in downtown London, and what a welcome sight this is for a country in love with winter and in love with skating. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2010 BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships on CBC. I'm Scott Russell, along with Tracy Wilson and Kurt Browning, and tonight we meet Team Canada, the dozen figure skaters who will be going to Vancouver and the Olympic Games to put on the Maple Leaf. And what a special moment this is, Kurt, the Olympics in the offing.
Well, to emphasize how important it is, 22 years ago, a young man made the Olympic team and went to Calgary, and he's still wearing his Olympic tie right
Thought
here.
you were looking mighty fine
wearing
tonight.
red and white for that. You know, better than your University of Western Ontario tie there, Scott.
Yeah, but it fits like a glove. You went to 3 Olympic Games. Tracy Wilson went to 2, 1984, 1988, where she won a bronze medal in the ice dance with Rob McCall, and you know how big this is for this, these athletes.
Oh, very big. It's special, but it's also extremely intense. All of these skaters know this shot comes around once every 4 years, and for most, it's a culmination of a dream. So much riding on the line, lots of tears, lots of cheering here in London.
The big event tonight is the men's free skate, and Kurt, a chance for Patrick Chan, so talented, to make a statement.
Sure, and if he's going to make a statement, I think that's going to be simply, it's about the skating, really, and like, can we move forward? And I think that his short program answered a lot of those questions about all the turmoil that's been going on in Patrick's life. A few problems in the short program, nothing that we're worried about, but what I'm really happy to say is that triple axel was beautiful, and he's going to need that to go into the games with.
There is a close race for the second Olympic spot, Tracy, between 3 skaters, Vaughn Chippier of Calgary, Joey Russell of Newfoundland and Labrador, and Sean Sawyer of New Brunswick.
And quite a mix, a wonderful variety in the men's event. They've all brought their A game here to this competition. Vaughn Chippier was spectacular in the short program. He's a huge jumper, extremely exciting, and if he produces the same kind of magic in the free program, he is definitely in the driver's seat.
Can't wait. The main men still to come. And now a chance to reflect. As I said, 12 Canadian figure skaters will be going to Vancouver and the Olympic Games in 4 disciplines. Let's look back at the ladies'
nationals. Cynthia, for you, that short program, how did that feel? It's been a long 4 or 5 years, very challenging for you, and now to be heading to the Olympics.
It felt so good to do this performance in here and in front of my parents that were in the stands too with my boyfriend. Like, you know, to skate that well in front of the Canadian crowd too, like, it feels so good.
Joanna, you could just see it in your face after the free program, how satisfied you were with that performance, and I guess what it means for you in the next few weeks as you start thinking about Vancouver.
Yes, I think I really needed to do this kind of program for myself. This is where I was in my training. I didn't expect to be completely perfect, but I was getting really good at home, and you know, it's like a new season for me starting. I put what happened earlier in the season behind me. Just use it as experience to grow and learn from it. But I think I needed something like this yesterday, just for the Olympics.
Okay, you've been to the Olympics. Cynthia hasn't. Any advice for her?
I think it's important to enjoy every part of it. It's so exciting, especially my first time. I remember in Torino, just to walk in the cafeteria, seeing all the athletes, and it's weird how when you see someone with a Canadian jacket, you just make friends so easily, and just to enjoy the whole experience.
Well, I hope both of you have a great time there and some great results. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda. Next, the pairs. A great Canadian tradition and the moment when the daring athletes discover they are bound to live their Olympic dreams. Tuesday, March 23rd. Well, the headliners are in the building. 19-year-old Patrick Chan looking for a third national title. Wouldn't it be big for Joey Russell of Labrador City, Newfoundland and Labrador if he could get to the Olympic Games? Vaughn Chippier, the senior skater in the field, 25 years of age from Calgary in his own space, and Sean Sawyer of Edmundston, New Brunswick. He was at the Olympic Games in 2006. He was 12, wants to get back. Back here near the ice with Tracy and with Kurt. What's going through the skaters' heads emotionally? How are they getting ready for a big moment?
Well, the way they're getting ready for this big moment is a little bit different for each skater, but the one thing they have in common is they all have a plan. It's a well thought out routine that they follow. It's comforting, like an old friend, the warm up, the visualization, the pre-game meal. Getting ready for an event like this does not happen by accident.
But having a plan is great and important, but what if something goes wrong, a drastic
flexible.
Yeah, you have to be able to be flexible and use this muscle, the one between the ears. And I think that when an event is this big, you got the Olympic Games coming and you could be on the team, you could be off the team, there's this, the dark side I call it, this self-doubt that creeps in, and you can fall and give into it, or you can decide somewhere in your day that you're just not going to, and that has to be happening to all the guys that are going to make it.
Lots at stake, and for the pairs as well. A great Canadian tradition here. 2002, Jamie Soleil and Delvit Pelche won a gold medal for Canada. Annabelle Langlois was there to see that with Patrice Arquetto, and this time she wanted to get back with Cody Hay.
And now you can finally exhale. All of the stress now should be gone away. It must have been a pretty stressful, tough week.
It was a very long, very stressful, very exciting week, and like you said, now we can finally exhale, and we're all just so excited.
Cody and Annabelle, for the two of you, it was a year ago. You weren't even competing. Did you wonder at times if this trip would be possible?
Definitely, and during the struggles that we've had, like there was some definite lows that we didn't think it was possible anymore.
I love the reaction, Jess and Bryce, after your free program. Your families were in tears. What does it mean to the two of you to have their support and have a program like that under your belt heading into the Olympics?
Well, it's exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to get the emotions of the crowd involved, not just our parents, of course, but everyone. And it's what we want to do, and we're looking forward for the next 3 weeks.
Well, look, and have fun in Vancouver. We can't wait to watch your performances.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Scott?
When we return, the art of the ice dance. Young skaters like Vanessa Crone and Paul Poirier. Well, we're anticipating the men's competition, looking ahead to Patrick Chan, and we can talk about the battle for second place and a place at the Olympic Games all we want. But here's the bottom line. The pressure tonight in London is squarely on the shoulders of the World Championship silver medalist, Patrick Chan, and a season of turmoil. Here's Brenda Irving.
Well, Scott, as you know, it's been pretty much smooth sailing for Patrick Chan throughout his career, kind of a steady rise to the top. But the past few months, well, they've certainly been a challenge for the 19-year-old.
Patrick Chan arrived in London looking for some sign his season was about to turn around. It's been a bumpy ride so far. In September, a muscle tear cut his training and his competition schedule short. Then in November, he finished a disappointing 6th at Skate Canada. And just last week, another blow. His coach, Don Laws, handed in his resignation.
To really see him decide to step down was a bit of a shock, but I respect him for his decision, and I owe him a lot.
Reporters this week were anxious to talk about the coaching change.
The first obvious question coming out of this month before the Olympics was a coaching change, which is obviously very shocking to a lot of people. Explain kind of what happened there.
You took the high road with Don Laws. Do you really feel that way?
Laws left after feeling he'd become a coach in name only.
When it first came to my attention, it was with a discussion as part of his family. And they mentioned my being incorporated with him, going back and forth and so on. And I said, well, you really cannot train, particularly in figure skating, a single athlete for the Olympics when they're 2,000 miles away.
With coaches Lori Nickel and Christy Kroll at the boards, Patrick looked to answer some of the questions about his skating in the short program on Friday.
Scrambling has been the order of the day for Patrick Chan. Let's see what he's got.
It's the big 3-axle. Very easy and one of the best I've ever seen.
Well, he's got the crowd. And the initial reaction is good.
It was the best program of the night, but not vintage Chan.
I didn't get the height I wanted, and I kind of jumped on a little angle.
It was a performance which left some with doubts whether he was the skater many pegged as an Olympic medal contender.
I think he's on the right track, and after his short program, I have far fewer concerns. I think everybody does. I'm not sure the Chan group ever had those concerns, but the manner in which he handled the short program, the thinking he did on his feet, showed me somebody that isn't paralyzed by all of the sort of things that have intruded into his life and made his training in the biggest year of his skating life a little perilous at times, I think.
Up until this season, adversity was a foreign concept to Chan, but his supporters say the 19-year-old is tougher than many people give him credit for.
He's hungry, and I think if there's anything I know about champions, they take any kind of adversity and they turn it to their advantage somehow, and that's what he's doing. He's turned it into a hunger.
And Scott, as you know, Patrick, pretty relaxed, kind of a happy-go-lucky guy, but not today, all business, and I'll have more on that a little bit later. Right now, let's head back downstairs.
Thanks very much, Brenda. Tracy and Kurt on the surface, lots of turmoil for Patrick. Is it much ado about nothing, or is it something?
No, I think it is. It is serious, and it's worth talking about. I've mentioned a couple times this week that me and Patrick as well, I'm sure, just wants to get back to the rink, but these are career-changing things. The injuries, the Olympic season, the fact that he has never had these turmoils to deal with before. Yes, I think they're important.
And you talk about being able to be flexible mentally. He's shown us in the past he can handle anything that's thrown at him, but a lot has been thrown at a teenager in this event.
Big moment for Patrick Chan is coming up now to reflect on the dance.
Four of you, and one of my favorite moments from this week was your reaction, Vanessa and Paul, when you found out that you got one of those Olympic bursts.
Yeah, Vanessa and I were definitely really excited. We had a little mistake in our free dance, so really everything was up in the air, and we decided to kind of seclude ourselves from the competition, so we didn't know what was going on, and then all of a sudden our teammates, Asher and Karis, came and jumped on us, and it kind of just came upon us like a wave, and we were just both so excited.
Yeah, we had to go look for you guys. You were hiding. I know it was great just to see. Look at your emotion there when you get the news.
It's crying a bit.
Well, Scott and Tessa, 3 great programs this week in front of family and friends. What does it mean to be heading to the Olympics with this sort of experience behind you?
Well, we couldn't ask for a better send-off. Competing in front of a London crowd has been amazing. The energy in the building, the support the community has shown, we're just so grateful, and we can't wait to represent Canada and London at the Games.
Congratulations on earning your very first Olympic berth, and thanks for the memories here in London.
Thank you.
Next, the main event. Men's figure skating is a pursuit branded with Canadian success. The current generation goes to the ice to crown the next national champion when we return to London. They are ready to go. A national title, Olympic status on the line at the John Labatt Center in downtown London, Ontario. Patrick Chan, 19. He has the inside track. Vaughn Chipier is 25 years of age from Calgary, Alberta. Perhaps this is his last shot. Joey Russell, he's only 21 from Newfoundland and Labrador, and he is his province's hope in this competition. And then there's Sean Sawyer, 25, experienced, but now Sean Sawyer of Edmundston, New Brunswick, has to skate from behind. Ringside at John Labatt Center, along with Tracy Wilson and Kurt Browning once more. The keys for the 4 main players. And Kurt, why don't you start with Patrick Chan?
All right, I think the key for Patty would be what he wants to get out of this week is to settle everything down, to calm the storm that's going on around him so that the next few weeks of precious training time is focused. He can go to the Olympic Games feeling good about himself. A personal request,
Yeah?
2
What's
triple
that?
axels, just like the one on the short.
Let's
That'd be
see.
awesome.
Tracy, Von Chippier is athletic, has the ability. He's second, but for now.
He is second, and he is a high-flying jumper who has to control his adrenaline. He loves speed. He loves airtime. Throw adrenaline in the mix, and he goes a little on the wild side. But you know what? He was as cool as a cucumber in the short program. If he has the same focus here, he's going to put up one heck of a fight.
Joey Russell, Kurt, we always said he was a dark horse.
Yeah.
In this case, can the dark horse win the race for second place?
Yeah, dark hair, dark horse. He can, you know, if he wants one of these cute little nifty Olympic ties, what he needs to do, it's not really about what he needs to do, it's what he needs to not do. Joey, don't breathe, don't think, don't change a thing. His short program was amazing, lights out.
What about Sean Sawyer, Tracy? A lot to gain, a lot to lose. He has been to the Olympics, but has to come back.
Well, he does, but he has to draw on the experience, his Olympic experience. You have to remember, Sean Sawyer, of all the Canadian men, including Patrick Chan, has the highest free program marks this year in competition. He's the only Canadian man to have an international medal from the Grand Prix circuit, and he did it on the strength of his free program. His strength is coming up next.
Wow, exciting. 4 men still in the hunt for 2 Olympic spots. Here's Brenda Irving.
Well, Scott, the men practiced on this rink last night. Patrick Chan did not have a good practice. He came to the rink today, was all business, really didn't want to talk to anyone. He did have a good practice today, though, and afterward his coach, Christy Krall, said the message to him today, try to go out and have some fun. Now let's head downstairs to Jeff Merrick.
Thank you very much, Brenda. About 20 minutes ago, I saw Patrick Chan upstairs warming up. He was loose, he was relaxed, he was having fun, but when he got down to the skater entrance, he was focused. At times, moving away from the other skaters, closing his eyes, almost hypnotizing himself before he went out there. Quite the converse, Sean Sawyer, loose, joking, laughing, high-fiving, having a good time with this. Chippier as well, was loose, was relaxed, was joking around with everyone. At times, it seems that each man knows they're doing this on their own. Different paths to get to the top of the mountain. No Sherpas here, Scott Russell. Each man does this alone.
Yes, Jeff, no Sherpas to be sure. All out there on their own terms, including Patrick Chan, the 19-year-old, 2-time national champion, getting ready to go. We know he has the tools to get the job done. Where is he at emotionally? And emotionally speaking, Von Chippier's got to be in turmoil. Kurt, how do you settle that down?
Well, I think Vaughn is actually in a great place. Turmoil is that he hasn't had the season he wanted. As you can see, I'm watching him on the warm-up. He just did triple flip, triple toe. He looks great.
There's Joey Russell of Newfoundland and Labrador. He really threw a wrench into the works when he was 3rd after the short program, and Sean Sawyer is the man who now has to come back. Sean Sawyer has the ability to do so. Here's how it looks after the short program here in the men's competition. Patrick Chan with a big lead. Von Chippier is next with a bulge of 4 points over Newfoundland and Labrador's Joey Russell. And back in 4th is Sean Sawyer, who was at the Olympic Games in 2006.
The next competitor from the Vancouver Skating Club in British Columbia, Yukon. Please welcome Kevin Reynolds.
Well, at the outset of these national championships and Canadian Olympic trials, Kevin Reynolds of Fort Coquitlam, BC, figured to be a factor. He was 4th at the last national championships, just slightly behind his teammate Jeremy Ten. Did not get the trip to the World Championships in Los Angeles, and now is well back after the short program, but still within reach.
Well, it might be in reach because of his capacity to do 4 revolutions in the air. You might need your slow-mo to see them all. He spins like a blur. He also, and I can't wrap my head around this, can do combos after multiple quads, quad toe or quad sow. He has the ability to decide in the moment which one he will do the second jump to. Kevin Reynolds, the quad king of the moment.
Opening here with his first quad sow cow.
And that was leaning a little bit, and like I said, decided, yeah, maybe the next quad I'll do the triple toe on, but he will need the combination. As you said, Tracy, he is behind.
Quad toe.
Still waiting for the first combination of two jumps put together. And now he'll have to tag it on probably to the next jump, which is the triple axel. The one that has put him behind in the first place, had trouble with it in the short. There it is.
Triple axel, triple toe.
Had mediocre results on the Grand Prix season. He was 6th at Skate America in Lake Placid, 8th at the Cup of China.
Skating to a medley of Led Zeppelin tunes. And it's what he does between the jumps that he's spent some time focusing on, trying to improve. It's where he falls behind the rest of the pack. Does not have fast ice coverage, does not get down in his knees. Another triple there.
Second triple axel. Very calmly finding the back outside edge on every single jump so far.
Footwork sequence here, a little bit slow. Now you have to remember all of these elements are awarded a level for degree of technical difficulty, and then the judges decide how well it's done with the grade of execution from -3 to +3. So every detail does matter and does add up. Of course, the big points racked up in the air, approximately 10 points for a quad.
So you can do a piece of footwork very well, but if it's easy, you don't score great. Little celebration there as he knows that all the jumps are over with. Immediately you will see a change in his demeanor, and already you see it in the footwork sequence. Moving from position, changing of directions very easily, more aggressive. When he figures out how to put all of this together for 3.5 or 4 minutes, then he'll get dangerous.
He was so disappointed last year at the National Championships to finish off the podium. Has had to deal with that all year in training, and this is the comeback he was looking for in the free program.
Instant standing O.
Canada's got so much depth in men's skating. Sure, Kevin Reynolds is only 19. And he fires a volley from the Pacific West, but he's got a long way to climb back to get in contention. Kevin Reynolds out of the Burnaby 8 rinks. When we come back, a former Olympian is close to getting back to the games.
I think the fly was short.
Kevin Reynolds representing BC and the Yukon. In the middle is his coach, Joanne McLeod. And the free skate score, 149.1. Little pumpernickel there from Joanne. And look at that, 2:16.49. He may have a little hope yet. Kevin Reynolds.
That's his best score this season.
At the boards, 25-year-old Sean Sawyer, originally from Edmundston, New Brunswick, with his coach, Annie Barabay. And on the other side of Annie, that's Sophie Richard. Sean Sawyer, 3 times the Canadian bronze medalist at the national championships. In terms of his career, he can't afford to be a bronze medalist again. He's got to be silver or better.
Skating 2 selections from the Amadeus soundtrack. This was choreographed by David Wilson. It's been received with rave reviews internationally because of its artistry. The key ingredient, though, the triple axel.
The key ingredient indeed on the triple axel has been the takeoff. I call it a slingshot takeoff. This week he has been jumping the takeoff and landing them clean, but he needs it now. Very leaning, not exactly the follow through he needed. Not the kiss of death, not what he wanted.
Just barely hung on. Won a silver medal at Skate America, the only Canadian male skater to win a medal on the Grand Prix circuit this season.
Very tentative in his first 2 jumping passes. He gathered himself, and that was a very nice triple Lutz. He does have a buffer artistically over the rest of the field, except for Patrick Chan. He gains on the average about 10 points higher on his second score, which makes up for a quad.
Triple toe combination. That was the takeoff he needed on the first jump of this program.
So you can see the lovely detail to his landing position, speed in and out of his jumps with a beautiful line and ease.
He was Olympic bronze medalist Jeff Buttle's roommate at the 06 games in Torino. He said he was inspired by the experience. Sean Sawyer makes his case for Olympic consideration. Again, is it convincing enough? Still to come, the battle for Olympic inclusion rages on. Joey Russell of Newfoundland and Labrador when the BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships continue on CBC. And now the results. Sean Sawyer, free skate score, and it is 137.42. And combined with his short program where he was fourth, 210.35, second to Kevin Reynolds. Not enough today. Here's Brenda Irving.
Spoke with Joey Russell's coach Lee Barkell. He says Joey's real loose today. His message to him was to stay aggressive. And Lee says he'll know if it's going to be a good program or not after Joey's second jump.
All right, Brenda. Well, what a big moment for this young man from Labrador City, Newfoundland, the 2006 Canadian Junior Champion, only skater from his province to win a national championship at any level, Joey Russell.
Another program choreographed by David Wilson, this one to the music of Kismet.
Joey makes the Olympic team, it would be huge for his province. Absolutely huge. And this could be the telltale story. What a fight!
More height than I've ever seen him get on that jump. What he's able to do so well is do a triple for a second jump on the heels of the first. Here comes the first one, triple flip. Not the landing that he needed for the second.
He's very capable of doing combinations anywhere. Too close to the boards on that one. By leaving that jump combination out, now he has to be making a decision. Where will I add that jump later?
Kevin Reynolds has the lead now. He has been very good. Joey Russell came into this free program with a 7-point margin over Kevin Reynolds after the short program.
He's looking really calm. His knees are pumping up and down. His shoulders are staying down. He did not get the explosive takeoff he needs and lost his concentration in that one.
But typically, that second jump is a triple, and that's what he needs at this level of competition. Let's see if he can do it here. There we go, triple sow, triple toe.
Well, it's obvious he's listening to you, not me today.
got in this performance. You can see his legs are starting to go on him, but he's pushing through. You got to leave it all on the table.
Well, good for Joey. He can sit in the kiss and cry and know that he did not give up the fight.
Judy and John Russell in the audience, and after the short, Joey could envision a major upset, but the dark horse from Newfoundland and Labrador now has to wonder if he's done enough to make this happen. Right now, Kevin Reynolds is the man to beat from the other end of the country. Joey Russell waits. The score to beat, 216.49 total. The free skate score, 128.12 for Joey Russell. And his total will be 202.16. Third place for now. Not enough today for Joey Russell. Here's Jeff Merrick.
Thank you very much, Scott. Vaughn Shipyard, who's about to skate here, and his head coach, Scott Davis, have a very unique superstition before he skates. Vaughn will tell Scott a joke. I said, how many times he repeated himself? He said, geez, all the time. I just laughed. The laughter makes him feel good.
Well, there's something about the crowd, Jeff, that's got to make him feel good right now. Vaughn Shipyard's in second spot. This has to be the biggest skating moment of his life. 25 years of age, originally from Lloydminster, Saskatchewan, now trains in Calgary, as you said, with Scott Davis, a two-time American champion. Tell you what, Vaughn is athletic and can get up above the boards, but can he put it all together?
He likes speed. He likes loud music and big jumps. There's no joke about it, though. This is the best, I mean, the biggest skate of his life. Crowd clapping in time with him already. He draws people in with his speed and intensity, and everyone knows what's coming. Hold on to something.
Oh!
Not the quality he was looking for, but he did change time zones during the jump.
The height was remarkable. He has got to bring it down just a titch. Triple, triple coming here. Nice. Focus so important. Heartbeat's going, you want to keep it calm. Triple Lutz.
He's holding on by a thread.
Nick the boards on the way by there.
But then that's Vaughn, isn't it?
He had 11.5 points on Kevin Reynolds after the short program. Reynolds right now is the man he has to beat to go to the Olympics.
Well, we thought the first triple axel was important.
It was until this one.
Double.
Nope. It almost looked to me like that was on purpose.
just past the halfway mark. Got a little bit of help from the audience here.
Well, what he lacks in smooth edges, deep knees, he definitely makes up with the charisma and love and, well, athleticism too, but just that sheer little spark of, you know, naughty.
He's real.
Yeah, he's real, and everyone has a good time with him.
Few more jumping passes, triple Salchow.
Out of a really difficult entrance too.
His coach Scott Davis is banging the boards down here in front of us, urging Vaughn on.
Another double axel. Final jumping pass here.
Major eye contact with his coach, Scott Davis there.
Triple Lutz, double toe. Whoa, hang on. Right into the footwork. Whew. This guy's got my vote.
Silver would be gold today, wouldn't it?
Rock and roll all the way. One of Vaughn Chipier's favorite things. That might be the landmark skate of his career. There's Joey Russell and Kevin Reynolds sitting down. Kevin has to wait for these scores from Vaughn Chipier. Well, there is the man of the hour, getting all suited up. Patrick Chan of Toronto. Welcome back to London. Vaughn Chipier covered a lot of territory here. He needs 137.63 for the lead over Kevin Reynolds. Did he get enough done to make the journey to Vancouver?
Reynolds certainly had more jumps, but this guy had the height. Unfortunately, that landing really costs him.
Well, if he gets into any trouble, it will be because of the quality of his landings. You can see him bent over drastically on the landings. He does not have the flow and ease out of these jumps that some of the other competitors do.
However,
it's just
makes up
in
for
the
it
air longer.
I don't know, you should pick up bonus points
He does.
for that kind of height. I think he doesn't.
He does.
I don't think he gets enough respect, personally, for the height in his jumps.
Hold
He
in
does
his
for the
breath.
people.
137.63, that looks good. Here it is, free skate 143.23. Vaughn Chipier, you're going to the Olympic Games. Elation for Vaughn Chipier, dejection for Kevin Reynolds. It's the harsh reality of these Olympic trials.
Comes back to the short program for Kevin. That's why.
Now, Patrick
that
Chan,
question.
yeah. And this, in terms of a national championship, there is little doubt. However, it's all about the message of Patrick Chan's talent. There can be no doubt. But where's he at in the Olympic season?
Skating once again to music from the Phantom of the Opera, intricately choreographed by Laurie Nickel.
big.
That was the triple axel. This, the triple combination.
Circle step is absolutely huge. He covers the whole ring. The only skater to really do so.
All of Canada is watching this. So too are his rivals. Jeremy Abbott has won the U.S. National Championship today in Spokane, Washington. The world champion, Evan Lysacek, was second. Johnny Weir third. All of them will be competitors, Abbott and Lysacek, for this match.
Building for a second triple axel now. Not only does he have that to worry about, he needs to combo it, and he did.
Be repeated twice if they're done in combination. So too with this Lutz, needs to be done in combination.
He's not where he wants to be yet, but be encouraged, Canada. Patrick Chan is getting close on the way to the home games.
Yes, it does feel good. Why not do a little dance? He may not be exactly where he wants to be, Scott Russell, but he's where he needs to be, I believe, in perfect positioning for himself going into the games.
Yeah. Good for you. Right on. That's the way to do it.
With Lori Nickel and Christy Kroll. And another look at Patrick Chan.
Because, Kurt, you don't want to feel like you're perfect and there's no room for improvement.
That's why I like that little mistake Joanie Rochette made. I still would like the mistakes on the axle to be a little smaller. It might be picky.
No, you're not.
I'll tell you what bugged me a little tiny bit is that he just sort of was letting little things happen. And what's so great about Patrick, not in the skating, but in the jumps weren't quite that step off the curb ease that he usually has.
I found his focus particularly good towards the end of the program, fighting for the balance and the landings of the jumps. And you could see him just, his confidence grow as the program went on. Look at this footwork. Kurt, you talked about how big and bold his footwork sequences are, choreographed there by Lori Nickel and performed alongside Patrick.
The audience has just this intuitive way of picking up on how good he is. And
Well,
halfway through the footwork sequence with 35 or 40 seconds left, standing.
his presence fills the arena, no question. And it's not something that he kind of works at and goes after. It's just absolutely natural to him, his skating, his big, bold edges.
177.88 in the free skate. And now the foregone conclusion, 268.02, the national champion for a third time. And encouragingly on his way to the Olympics with that man, Vaughn Chipier. The final standings in the men's competition, Patrick Chan by a ton. Vaughn Chipier is next, and that's what's important. Kevin Reynolds third, a disappointment for him. Here is Brenda Irving.
Well, I'm with the three-time Canadian champion, and how much satisfaction do you draw from your performances here in London this week?
So much. Confidence has gone up so much, and you know, Nationals was really a time to work out the kinks and really show people that, you know, I went to Colorado for a reason, and it helped. So it's a big relief, and I'm so happy to be in London with such great people.
You head into the Olympics as the reigning world silver medalist. If you skate your best, what do you think is possible for you in Vancouver?
The unimaginable. You know,
say it.
No, well, I mean, of course, gold is the goal. I'm not going to say it. You know, Canadians have to really think about winning and not be afraid to win. And I think this year's Team Canada, we're going to go out and win some gold medals.
Good luck in Vancouver.
Thank you.
Now let's head to Jeff Merrick, who's with Vaughn Chipier.
Yeah, thank you very much. I don't think you've stopped smiling since you came off, Vaughn. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, when you finished your skate, the John Labatt Center popped like the cork out of a champagne bottle. What was going through your mind?
Well, I just, you know, you always finish and you're, I mean, it's the high. Like it's the high I think everyone skates for. And, you know, my biggest thing is soak it in, remember it. You know, because the hardest part is when someone asks you, what was it like a week later? You're like, oh, what was it like? You know, because the adrenaline is just pumping so hard. You just want to soak it in. It just feels amazing.
Now, it seemed like a fight out there. Did it feel like a scrap?
A little bit, yeah. You know, first couple jumps a little shaky. But, you know, I got, you know, a few more jumps in, and I held it together, and I got a little more with my feet as the program went through. And for me, it was really just about enjoying the performance. You know, like I knew I'd get the tricks done. For me, that's not the hardest part. The hardest part's always been the program, and I felt, you know, this program has been, you know, a huge turning point for me throughout the season. And, you know, I worked my butt off on it, and I really just wanted to show it off here, you know, and it's a program I can finally have a lot of fun with. And I think that's, you know, that's one of the reasons why the audience really got into it with me, and, you know, it was great to share with them. It's what I was here for.
Enjoy the 604 area code. You're going to Vancouver.
Thanks very much.
A very happy Vaughn Chipier. Scott, back to you.
To stand and deliver on the final night, Vaughn Chipier, a leap of faith that pays off. Patrick Chan delivers another championship and cause for hope. We'll meet figure skating's Olympic Team Canada next. Welcome back. There's nothing like a handshake for a job well done. Vaughn Chippier of Calgary, Alberta, Patrick Chan of Toronto add their names to the list of Canadians going to the Olympic Games at Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver in the sport of figure skating. And so here they are. I want to introduce them to you. All of the dozen who will go to those home Olympic Games in Vancouver. Let's start over here in the pairs competition. Annabelle Langlois and Cody Hay. Then it will be Jessica Dubé and Bryce Davison. Cynthia Phaneuf is going to the Olympic Games. So is Joanie Rochette. Vaughn Chippier of Calgary, Alberta. Patrick Chan of Toronto. Vanessa Crone and Paul Poirier in the ice dance. And of course, the local heroes from right here in London and Ilderton, Ontario, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir. Canadians at the Olympic Games in Vancouver. Scott Moir, do you have a message to Canadians about what they might expect?
Well, what a great team we have here, Scott, with Patrick heading us off, obviously, with the skate that we just saw. So we're going to be young. We're going to be a force to be reckoned with. It should be very exciting.
There you go. Team Canada in figure skating, the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, British Columbia, and the home games. From all of us at CBC, we say bon voyage. They are Canadian figure skating's finest, and there are 25 days to go until the Olympic Games in Vancouver. Only the best represent the Maple Leaf at the home games.